This isn't a video I was planning on making, but a few of you have brought it to my attention, and I think it's worth addressing. And these are the leaks, or supposed leaks, around the game being called Batman Arkham Legacy. Now, I want to take a minute and say that this is all rumor-based leaks. I'm not saying that this is or is not true, so if it is true, you can't come here and say, like, you called it. I didn't call it. This is not me. And if it isn't true, I'm not surprised, but either way, it's worth reporting on. Now, this was coming from a leaker, and this is a prominent leaker on Twitter named Sabi. I'm sorry if I'm, pronouncing your name wrong. I'm sure you're not watching this, but at New Wabi Sabi, I like your name. Now, they tweeted out just Arkham Legacy ? With the, what I call thirsty eyes, but no one else calls them that, emoji, and said the stuff about the playable family seems to be legit. Now, here's my thing with this story. Now, I'm not saying Wabi Sabi is or isn't right about this. I don't really know, but I'm going to tell you why I don't think a couple of things with this. One, I don't really think Arkham Legacy fits the title naming convention so far of the games. I guess you could argue it sort of fits Origins if this is a sequel to Knight. But from all previous reports, the Knight sequel was scrapped, and it was actually being reworked into another game, which we believe to be this one. Now, unless they have two games going on at the same time, I really doubt they're doing a sequel to Knight. It wouldn't really make sense for Arkham Legacy to come right after Arkham Origins, but I guess maybe it could if they just don't want the name to make sense. And as far as the playable Bat family, I think it is possible because of the groundwork laid in Arkham Knight. Now, in Arkham Knight, you can play as a plethora of Bat family characters, from Batman, obviously the core of that family, to Red Hood, to Nightwing, to Batgirl, to Robin. It's kind of sky's the limit with that one. So there are gameplay elements already in place to allow you to play as Bat family characters. That would not be that hard to work out. The reason I don't think that the Bat family being playable means that Arkham Legacy is a thing, personally, is because of the reports that we had gone over before that were actually fairly substantiated even by Jason Schreier, who is really reliable in the games industry, love him or hate him, on the report that game, that Arkham Knight sequel, had been scrapped and was being reworked. So I think that more than likely Arkham Legacy is not the title, that this is still the Court of Owls game. Otherwise, there's literally no point in them tweeting out the stuff that has teases for the Court of Owls. No point in Scott Snyder having replied to that with the hashtag Beware the Court of Owls thing. There was no reason for any of that if it was just going to pivot to Arkham Legacy, unless the Court of Owls was now all of a sudden in an Arkham Knight sequel. I think more than likely this is still, again, that Court of Owls game. Maybe you can play as the Bat family. Spoiler alert for the City of Owls and Court of Owls storylines from Scott Snyder. There is a portion in that story where Batman goes missing for quite a while, and the Bat family doesn't really know where he is during this time. So more than likely, you could actually have a game where you play as Batman at the core, but there's maybe a solid fourth or third of the game where you're playing as the Bat family trying to find him. You certainly could do that. Otherwise, I don't really know what to make of this. I'm more interested with what you think about this, because so far this is just the 2-tweet leak from Sabi. Again, I'm not saying that she is a inaccurate source, but I am saying that I don't see substantiation for this yet with everything else we've seen. But, I've pointed this out before, a lot of the entertainment news we talk about is unsubstantiated leaks, and you, the viewer, the intelligent, awesome person listening to this video, has to decide what you believe. So do you believe this to be true? Why or why not? Would you like to see an Arkham Legacy game that probably would actually be a sequel to Knight, because that doesn't make sense as an Origin sequel? Or would you like to just see the Arkham Origin sequel we've talked about? Or would you like the Arkham Origin sequel to have a playable Bat family in it? I'm definitely open to your responses and love to hear back from all of you. Have a great and awesome day, And if this turns out to be true or not true, I'm not taking credit either way. This is somebody else's work. I just thought it was worth talking about. Thanks for bringing it to my attention, and good night.